Lions shine brightly in their last movie, Indiana Bones, but compared to Valen, I wonder if they're falling behind. I agree, Martin. These two promising rookies start from the same point, but one of them is lagging behind. Personally, I believe it's Valen who's being outshone. I mean, have you seen Lions as a role in Moondrop Mountain? It was like they were a completely different person. It takes skill to adopt a character completely. Tom, are you forgetting Valen's incredible speech ability? Click. What? Ah, come on! My phone dies in the middle of the new broadcast, but I end up feeling grateful that it did. Watching the news about Valen and me never helps my mood, and I don't know what I expected to be different today. The media is constantly comparing us to each other and loves portraying us as an intense rivalry. It's gone so out of hand, it pushed me and Valen apart. A strange, bitter feeling falls to the pit of my stomach, but I deliberately ignore it. Alright, we're heading back to the hotel for the day. Please board the bus, everyone. The staff begin to board the fancy bus, but I notice someone out of the corner of my eye lingering behind. Very suspicious. Valen? Oh, it's you. I notice his expression is off and he's avoiding making eye contact with me. Well, he never makes eye contact with me, but it's different this time. He's definitely hiding something behind everyone's back. Alright, fuss up. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. The wrinkles on your forehead say otherwise. You look like you're in your 50s now. What? No, I don't. Valen hit his forehead with his hands, and I snort while rolling my eyes. Come on, Val, we've known each other for years now. I know when you're lying. I wish we never met. But the gods that be have forced up halves across anyways. How tragic. For me, yeah. You're always antagonizing me, and you seem to get a great kick out of it, too. No, I don't. Well, it's funny. I sure do. I mean, I can't lie. I do. See? Valen's face crunches up. Obviously, it takes off in my admittance. There it is. Huh? You have the cutest expression when you pout. You make it hard not to tease you. His face crunches up further, and it takes every ounce of willpower to fight back the smile creeping up on my face. This is bullying. I was about to reply to his comment, but then I remember why I approached him in the first place. Don't yell so suddenly. Don't think you can distract me, mister. What's going on? I told you already, it's nothing. Uh-huh. Are you gonna go now? Nope. We're boarding the bus now. Yep. So... I'm waiting for you to get on so we can sit together. Hell no. Come on. Why not? Because we're rivals and you're just going to keep teasing me on the whole bus ride. What if I promise I won't tease you as fun as it would be? You'll break that promise in 5 minutes flat. No, 5 seconds. I pout but relent. Fine. If you won't let me sit on the bus with you, tell me what's going on. I'm serious. Valen narrows his eyes, leveling me with a hard glare before sighing and picking at his puffy sleeve. I lost something and I want to go back and look for it. Can't you ask the manager to send someone to find it? No. No. It's super important. I can't have anyone else touching it. Then I can help you look for it. Absolutely not. If you go by yourself out there, you're gonna get mauled by a bear or something. You being there wouldn't change anything. True, but hey, at least you won't die alone. Forget it. Valen spins on his heels and walks towards the direction of the film set. Hey, wait! Don't follow me! Did you hear what I just said? No, it sounded like incessant buzzing in my ear. It's dangerous to go alone. Here, take me! I am so sorry. So you should turn back when you can. Is this thing really so important? Yes! I was so taken aback by the raw emotions in his voice that I almost forgot what was happening. Then at least let me come with you. I level him with my most serious expression, trying to show that I'm being sincere. I promise I won't tease or make your life miserable. We'll just Head back to the set, find your lost item, and head back, okay? We can call the manager to send someone to pick us up. Okay, let's go. I smile at him and he quickly turns his face away. Don't fall behind. Never. Whoa. A beautiful field of flowers stretched out for as long as the eye can see. I don't remember passing this on our way to the set this morning. We didn't. Don't tell me you got us lost. Are we lost? I can do a little adventure. I'ma be nice. No, I know where we are. I found this place online and want to check it out on the way. Didn't know you like flowers so much still. Something wrong with that? Not at all. I'm glad we have that in common at least. Valen mutters something under his breath that I can't quite catch. I didn't think on it too deeply and returned my gaze towards the beautiful sight before me. You know, this is typically the scene where I get murdered. Do you regret it? I jump a little, not expecting Valen to speak up at all. What? Giving up your dream for this. My dream? Oh, are you talking about how I wanted to be a florist when we were younger? Yeah, don't worry about that. I'm happy where I am now. Except for us being so distant despite working together this closely. Oh, Valen, look! Marigold is growing here. I squat down and admire the bunches of marigolds growing near the edges of the meadow. What do these symbolize? I squint, shaking off the cobwebs of my flower language knowledge. The power and light that resides in a person. I can't help but notice that the petals' colors complement Valen's extremely coordinated outfit. Marigolds are also associated with death and the afterlife. My favorite is that they're used to ward off negativity and evil spirits. I carefully pluck one from the earth and give Valen a sinister grin. I think you need one to banish all the grumpiness in you, Val. No, I don't. I'm a very nice person. It's just that being around you always spoils my mood. Ah, don't say that. Here, take it. No. I tried to get him to take the flower, but he dodged my advance. Oh, you're on. Huh? I continue this little game of chase and Valen yelps as he wades through the flower meadow. Eventually, I had to take a break, putting my hands on my knees, panting heavily. Why won't you take my gift of friendship? Valen flops unceremoniously on the ground, wiping sweat off his brow. Are you kidding me? You were chasing me around like a lunatic. I try not to stare too much at his smile. It's not often I see it after all. Anyone with a sensible head wouldn't accept a flower from a person like that. I close the distance between us with a few nimble steps and place the flower in his open palm. It was only when I bestowed the brightly colored flower to its proper owner that I noticed the stem and leaves got bent. Oh, he got crushed. Valen stares in disbelief at the marigold with the crooked stem and back at me. Flower barbarian. What? Flower murderer? You're just a flower hater. Hey, it wouldn't have turned out so funky if you just took it in the first place. You know what? I'm gonna call him out for being a goddamn tsundere. A flower's not gonna fix my problems. Doesn't hurt to try though, right? It sure hurt the flower. I'm telling you, it would have been fine if you just accepted it earlier. Here, let me get you another one. No thanks. I try to put a fresh marigold in his hand, but he walks off at an incredible pace. Wait, Valen! Let me cure you of your grumpiness! I give up trying to banish Valen's grouchiness when we arrive back at the filming site. I notice he's still holding on to the broken marigold, however. Do you know where your lost thingy is? Not really. I just know for sure I had it on me during the tour. We can retrace our steps then. Valen nods stiffly and we begin to travel through the set, exactly as we did earlier in the day. It's not here either. He grips the ends of his sleeves, taut with stress. Don't lose hope. We still have to check to see if it's in the break room. Right. I can't help but sneak glances at him as we make our way to the last destination. I observe his brows are pinching together, forming creases on his forehead. Valen is an attentive person, so he would have noticed me staring holes through him right now. I've never seen him this nervous since our first shoot together. What could he have possibly lost to get this worked up? We enter the small trailer, which serves as a resting area for all the staff on set. Thank goodness it's still unlocked. Valen quickly gets to work, searching about the tiny room. If only he told me what he was looking for, I would have helped him, but when I asked, he vehemently refused. I resigned to my fate and peeked through the cupboard to take note of what snacks are being kept in stock. Aha! Did you find it? I spin on my heels to see Valen proudly holding up a keychain of a cute animal. We make eye contact and he quickly hides it behind his back. Oh my gosh. Is that the keychain I gave you a few years ago? No. Yes, it is. That was Peaches, the mascot of that one cartoon we both watched together. It's not the same one you gave me, so I lost it. I shoot him a dubious look and quickly dart behind him. I took the keychain out of his clutches and spot the faint stitching on its right arm. You liar, Valen. It is the same one. Valen snatches back Peaches and attaches it to his belt as I explain the facts. Ah! I accidentally tore Peaches' arm, so your mom had to sew it back together. His face is as red as tomato, and refused to look me in the eyes. So what if it's the same one? A sudden realization struck me like lightning from above. So, this keychain, is that what you were making a big fuss over? It wasn't a fuss, I was just worried. I didn't think it meant this much to you. I'm glad you've held on to it for so long. Unable to reply, Valen's face scrunches up like it usually does when he's uncomfortable. I found what I was looking for, so let's go. Oh, sure. Right. The manager's probably stressed to the high heavens right now. Just as I was about to turn the door handle, a soft click sounded from the other side. A cold chill runs down my spine as I jiggle the door handle, but to no avail. Any second now. I bang on the door, causing Valen to raise his brows. Hey! We're still in here! Please unlock the door! Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Well, we've got all this time. You want to go first, or should I? I wouldn't mind if you went first. I'll just bend over right over this dressing table. Like, I don't care if we make a whole mess in here. Like, they deserve it. They locked us in here, so I should stop. Valen pushes his way to the door and tries opening it too, but got the same results as me. He pulls out his phone to see if he can contact anyone and grimaces. No signal. What about you? It died. Damn it! Why can't we unlock it from the inside? Ugh, stupid. I checked the windows, but the escape route was instantly out of the question, seeing how tiny they are. Only a 6-month-old can squeeze through here. Let's see. Let's try to defuse the situation. Looks like we're spending the night in here. Don't worry, the staff will find us tomorrow morning. We stood there in a moment of silence, me in nervousness about Valen, whom looks like he might pop a vein at any given moment. Thankfully, he just ends up sighing as he pulls on his sleeve. Right. He falls onto the couch, the soft cushions making him bounce a little from the force. I knew he wouldn't appreciate me chatting right now, so I decided to keep exploring the trailer. Find more snacks like granola bars and bottles of water. At least we won't starve tonight. What caught my eye was a tidy pile of printer paper found in one of the drawers, along with an assortment of blue and black pens and 2 B pencils. With nothing else better to do, indulge in the universal love of mindless doodling. I at first tried to take a serious attempt at drawing a rabbit, but its body ends up looking discombobulated. The artist's path is not for me, it seems. Resigning to my fate as an unautistic human, I resort to scribbling silly animals. Birds with stick legs, cats with stick legs, and oh, guess what? Dogs with stick legs, and even snakes with stick legs for the hell of it. I grow tired of leg day and switch it up to drawing flowers. Flowers. I'm surprised Valen remembers I wanted to be a florist. Well, not really. I recall talking his ear off about how I was going to sell giant peaches and beanstalks in my store. He thinks I gave up on that dream though. He's not wrong, but it was more like a childish tendency to be everything when one grows up. Mostly. Wanted to be a florist to impress Valen. I learned all sorts of facts about flowers, from caring for them to their biology, even the meaning behind them. I was a pretty smart 9-year-old. There's another reason why I wanted to be a florist, but I'm too embarrassed to admit it, even internally. I drew a lavender blossom next. Grace, calmness, and youth. I like to think we had a happy childhood together. I glance up from my paper and see Valen on his phone. He changed his sitting position to where his knees are tucked under his chin. He also took off his shoes to reveal socks that coordinated with his outfit. I can't help but roll my eyes at this. No wonder he takes at least an hour to pick something to wear. I checked the analog clock on the wall, which reads 6:40 p.m. About 20 minutes have passed since we got locked in. Valen's probably cooled off by now then. A stroke of genius flashes through me, and I immediately set to work. I fold and crease a sheet of paper, creating the perfect paper plane. Now for the last step. A super secret message. I'm bored. Are you okay? You okay? I want to check in on him, and this seems like the most peaceful option. If you ignore the fact that this could potentially poke him in the eye. With the finishing touches, I send off the paper plane. It arcs neatly across the room and bonks Valen on the head. Huh? He immediately turns his attention at me, glaring. What's that for? I sent you a very important message. Valen crooks an eyebrow and unfolds the paper plane. The tips of Valen's ears grow red as he reads my short message. Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. So what are you doing on your phone? We don't have any connection up here, so I can't imagine you browsing. Just playing some games. Oh, what kind of games? Just a couple of offline ones. Curious, I take a seat next to him on the couch. Valen scowls, but doesn't make any moves to shoo me away. I lean over his shoulder and notice his hair smelled kind of citrusy sweet. Displayed on his phone was a game I was familiar with. It's Peach's Run! I didn't know you played it too! It's a good time killer. I watch as Valen uses his thumb to direct the little red panda running through the urban alleyways. Peaches definitely makes sharp turns and collects bamboo shoots along the way, but accidentally runs into a trash can. Ugh. Better luck next time. Maybe you have enough bamboo shoots to get an upgrade. Maybe. I watch Valen play Peach's Run another round before he hands his phone to me. Here, you can play around. Really? If you don't want to, that's fine with me. No, wait, I want to play! I'm actually a pro at this game. Let me show you how it's done. Is that so? Yeah, just watch and observe. I press the play button and barely managed to beat Valen's high score in one go. See? That's only because you bought an upgrade before you started. Give it here. And so began our heated competition over who is the best at Peach's Run. By my 6th run, Valen's phone died on us. No, my high score! Ha! That means I'm the best. No way! It's not my fault your phone died. I demand a rematch. There has to be a charging cable around here. As I get up to search through every single drawer and even under the table, I hear Val scoff at me. Just admit that I'm better than you. In your dreams, I'm actually better than you in every way. In your dreams? Sounds like you're in denial, Lion. Just accept your defeat. Let's do a different competition. Like? My stomach growls. Chip tossing? I grab a few bags of chips, making sure that a few were Valen's favorites. Spicy corn chips. I head back and give him a few, and rip open one of my own. I grab a flaky potato chip and toss it high in the air, aiming to catch it in my mouth, only for it to hit my nose and fall pathetically to the floor. You look like a fool. I want to see you try that, mister. Valen copies my movements, a corn chip flying in the air before dropping neatly into his hair. You get an honorary medal for getting a chip stuck in your hair. I pick the chip out of his brightly dyed hair and toss it up in the air, landing perfectly in my mouth. Maybe you'll get it next time. I shoot him a wink, and his face scrunches up cutely. He reaches into his bag of chips and tosses one at me, bouncing off my shoulder. What was that for? Payback for the airplane? If you want to start a food fight, just say so. I grab a handful of chips and throw it at him, showering him with potato chip and seasoning galore. My hair! Do you know what this means? I smile mischievously, preparing to swat any ammunition he sends my way. No. This means war. He flings spice-dusted tortilla chips like ninja stars at me, and I can't help but laugh as one bops me on the nose. War it shall be! All the chips in my current bag ran out, so I probably opened a new one and aimed some more at Valen. One by one, our ammo supply decreases by the bag until we were each down to our last one. I put some extra oomph into my next attack, and some of the crumbs or seasonings must have gotten into his face because he began to sneeze violently. Now's my chance! I dash over to him and dump the rest of the chips on him, only to slip on one of the empty chip bags that was haphazardly discarded on the floor. Whoa! Ha! Who's the best now? Valen howls in laughter at my fall as he brushes off chip dust off his hair. Ow! I stay in place, rubbing my poor tailbone. How did I slip on a chip? Do you admit defeat? You're the one on the ground in pain. Sounds like I win again. But I managed to get chip crumbs all over your hair! Which I don't appreciate, by the way. Sorry, I know you love your hair, but all is fair in love and war. The sink should be deep enough to wash it out. You can go clean up. I'll pick up the trash and sweep the floor before you go tumbling down too. I have much more grace than to do that. What? As Valen got up to go to the kitchen sink, he too slipped on a chip bag. I think this means I win, don't you think? Finished cleaning up the awful mess we created with our food fight and resumed doodling at the table. Val is still busy scrubbing away at his hair. I add a cow and an octopus to my growing army of stick-legged animals to the roster. I put more effort into drawing the cephalopod's tentacles, where they wind up looking like fat noodles, which isn't inaccurate, I suppose. I look outside the tiny window and notice it's gotten a lot darker, so I turn on the lights. You sure you don't need any help, Val? Absolutely positive. If you say so. You look like you're going to get back issues with the way you're hunched over the counter like that. Don't want the manager getting complaints that you can't act because you spent the last 30 minutes washing your hair. Then I'll just blame you because this is entirely your fault. Then let me take responsibility and help you. No one gets to touch my hair. Huh. I go back to sketching on loose sheets of printer paper. My collection of drawings is slowly accumulating at an impressive amount. My eyes keep drifting to where Valen is battling against his messy hair. I take in the bright streaks in his hair and the black contrasting it. Valen's hair color isn't actually black. It's a deep brown. I suppose he wanted to dye it darker to match with outfits more easily. Or perhaps he's going through late puberty. Emo phase? The aquamarines and peachy hues of his hair loosely reminds me of peach blossoms and delphiniums. I begin to doodle them as I think about how Valen will feel receiving a bouquet with them paired together. It would be an amazing token of well wishes. He probably wouldn't like it. I want to give him one day. I want him to know that despite what the news and social media say, I will always support him. I still remember it like it was yesterday. Valen and I were in high school and there were auditions for a role for a small theater. He always wanted to act, just like the cartoons and action movies we watched when we were younger. I wanted to support him, and he said it'd help if I auditioned with him. So I did, and well, the rest is history. What are you doing? Dad! Don't sneak up on me like that! Not my fault, Dad, you tune out the entire world when you zone out. Oh, are you done washing your hair? I'm just doodling. Valen points to my doodles of a snake with legs. Is that some sort of bug? A centipede? What? No, it's a snake! How in the world is that supposed to be a snake? Snakes don't even have legs. Evolution! Does that mean pigs fly now? 100%! You should stick with drawing flowers. Those peach blossoms look nice, and are those jasmine and poppies? I can't help the heat creeping up my cheeks, and for the first time, I look away instead of the other way around. Being complimented by Valen today was not what I was expecting when I woke up this morning. Why don't we play a game? If it involves food, I'm out. No, I was thinking we could play Hangman. Sure. Nice, since I suggested it. I'll choose the sentence. Sentence? Not just a word? Why? Scared? No, bring it on. Let's go with amnesia. 3 words. I thought you were supposed to give me a challenge. Yeah, don't count your chickens before they hatch, Val. Give me an A. I smirk as I draw the head of a stick figure, the beginning of his path to losing. It's only the first letter. Don't think you've won yet. O. I write down an O in the last blank. E? I laugh evilly as I add a body to the stick figure. Duh. The game carries on. Sometimes he's wrong, and he nearly lost because he didn't guess S, but he managed to solve the puzzle. I miss you was written plain as day on a sheet of white printer paper. I wasn't nervous before the game started, but now I'm starting to get a bit anxious as Valen went silent for a few seconds. He's blushing so much! You do? Who wouldn't miss their friend since childhood? Here, let me get us some water and something to eat. We didn't exactly get to eat any of the chips earlier. I grabbed some bottled water and found some breakfast muffins to eat for a lazy dinner. Thanks. No problem. The only sound that is made is the crinkling of the plastic water bottles. A few hours ago, this would have been incredibly awkward. For me at least. I think Valen would be in hell on earth. But here we are, sitting across from each other, plastic water bottles and blueberry muffins in hand, and locked in a trailer with 2 dead phones. This is nice, isn't it? It is? Yeah. No one breathing down our necks to rehearse or some news reporter chasing after us to ask what we're doing to outshine the other. Valen puts down his water bottle on the table, picking at his sleeves. I agree. This is nice. Hey, you remember all the different stuff we did when we couldn't watch TV? Yeah, we'd catch bugs and put them in a jar to watch them. Too bad he killed a majority of them. Hey, you're just as accountable, you know. Oh no, now we're both going to prison for killing bugs. Oh, not again! Ha! Speaking of, we used to play cops and robbers a lot with the neighborhood kids too. Right, I remember that. We were always chosen to be the cops together. Butt-kicking duo since day one, huh? If I remember correctly, it was mostly me who was kicking butt and you were just posing with a finger gun the whole time. What can I say? I knew I was a looker. Can't argue with that. Valen and I make eye contact and we both quickly avert our gaze. Dang it, why is he making me so flustered today? Valen takes another sip of water and I chew mindlessly on my granola bar. The same feeling of sadness from when I was watching the live stream creeps up on me as I think back on all our happy memories together. I swallow thickly as I bring myself to ask the question that's been on my mind for a while. Why did you push me away? Huh? I didn't push you away. You did, Lion. What? When you got that big A-list role, people began to compare me with you. They said that I just held you back, so you stopped associating with me. As he spoke, Valen's voice became thicker with emotion. It cast me aside like our years of friendship wasn't worth nothing, and once I started receiving bigger roles, you sauntered back into my life like nothing happened. I never did that! Because the media started spewing nonsense like that, I didn't want to harm your career by being around in public with you. That's just a pretty lie, and you're feeding your ego. Then how do you think I felt when you started acting so cold and mean to me? It's like I never knew you to begin with. I'm sorry. I wasn't feeling up to talking with a backstabber. Suddenly, all the emotions I bottled up for years broke like a dam. Don't make me the bad guy. I don't even know the person I'm talking to anymore. Stay silent. Stay silent? What? Got nothing to defend yourself with? I wanted to scream, wanted to cry. I wanted Valen to know how much I missed and hated him at the same time. He wasn't being fair. So was I. We were both making the other out to be the villain when we both have equally suffered the same burdensome expectations from the world. The two of us are trapped together in an invisible container for onlookers to gawk and admire. I coped by ignoring our pains and troubles, and he drew a border around himself so I couldn't get close. I began to feel hot tears prick the corners of my eyes. Let's stop arguing. I don't want to talk anymore. Let's stop arguing. You're the one who started it. Please, I can't do this anymore. Fine. Valen storms off to the couch and makes sure to stretch his legs so there's no room for me to sit. Not like I want to anyway. We go inside the bathroom and sit on the toilet, curling up into a ball. Hot tears streak my face and I don't bother to wipe them away. I never wanted to be a florist. Just wanted to stay with Valen. Just being with him made me the happiest person in the world. And now, I don't think I'll be able to go near him anymore. Not the way I want to. I don't know how long I've been crying, but I hear a knock on the other side of the door. Open the door. What? Stay silent. I guess I'll open the door. On the other side was Valen, who looked shocked that I opened the door. Oh, hey, Lion. I wanted to apologize. Can we move to the couch? Sure. I take a seat at the far end of the couch, completely opposite from Valen. Valen opens and closes his mouth, struggling to find the right words to say. I said a lot of cruel things to you. I didn't mean most of them. I do feel like I was tossed to the side by you, but I know you never meant it for your benefit. Yeah. I'm really sorry. Valen stares at me in the eyes, and I don't think I've ever seen such clarity in them before. A part of me just wanted to reach out and give him a hug. I'm sorry too. I also said a lot of things I didn't mean. Things that I knew would hurt you. We both messed up a lot, but we're in this together. You know that, right? Yeah, no one else I'd rather be with in a mess like this. We share a bitter, knowing smile, but the atmosphere felt warm, and I knew things would be okay from here. Earlier today, you asked if I was okay with giving up my dream. Why? Valen shifted uncomfortably in his seat. I feel guilty. I mean, ever since we were kids, you kept going on about how you wanted to be a florist. And you never got that chance, not since I forced you to audition with me. Silly, you never forced me to do anything. And even after that role, I could have turned down all the other role offers with my own free will. He tugs at his sleeve, feeling sheepish. I guess so. You know what else? What? My dream was never to be a florist. It wasn't? I only wanted to become one because you love flowers so much. I thought if I opened up a flower shop, you'd keep coming back to me. Valen blushes fiercely as he sputters out words of nonsense. I try to contain myself before my face splits from smiling too much. And the dream hasn't changed since, I wanted to keep being with you for the rest of our days. Huh? I lift my leg to nudge his thigh. I said what I said, Val. He covers his face with both hands to hide his embarrassed expression. I fight the urge to take his hands away so I can see his cute face. Do you know what it sounds like, Lion? Nope, care to enlighten me? Do you want this to be a love confession? Valen lets out another choked noise and I can't help but get a great kick from it all. You can't tease me like this. I lean closer to Valen, but he doesn't move away. Instead, he locks eyes with me. I can't help but get lost in the sea of blue. But I'm not, Val. I really like you. His face flushes red and his eyes begin to water. You do? I do. I loved you from the start. It's okay if you don't feel the same. I just wanted to let you know. No, I feel the same. That's all it took for me to throw my arms around him, nearly knocking him over. I can't believe it. It took so many years and an awful argument to get to this point in our relationship. You're lucky I'm a patient person, Val. I really am. I was about to reply with more bouts of affectionate teasing when... Yes! Is it this dark out already? If it gets really cold out here during nighttime. You should take my jacket. What? But then you'll be freezing. You're literally wearing a skin-tight tank top underneath that. I'll be fine. I'm a pretty warm person. True, he never seemed to be sick during the winter season. Well, if my wonderful boyfriend is offering, then I'll gladly take you up on that offer. Valen blushes at his new title and unzips his fluffy jacket to give it to me. Well, it's getting late. We should head to bed because we've still got a long day tomorrow. Locked in a trailer and whatnot. As if to prove his point, I let out a long yawn. Yeah, fair point. Come here. I stretch open my arms, welcoming him in for a cuddle session on the couch. Valen stares at me, surprised, but he's already getting accustomed to my blunt advances. He quickly gives me a tired but affectionate smile and accepts my invitation. He fits nicely in my arms, and me in his. Good night, Lion. I'm sorry for everything that happened today, but for what it's worth, I'm happy it ended like this. Here's to a new beginning, Val. Good night, and I'll see you in the morning. Valen presses his face into my neck, and I can feel him smile against it. When I wake up, it took me a while to recall the events of yesterday. That's when I realized Valen wasn't with me anymore. I sit up and rub the sleep out of my eyes to find him, but I didn't even need to bother getting up front the couch. There, right before me, was Valen, cutting away at sheets of white printer paper. His attention is so laser-focused on his craft that he didn't even notice that I'm awake. Taking advantage of this, I simply sit and observe him working away. What even is he making? Shreds of paper are strewn everywhere, and clumps of tape are balled up randomly. That should be fine, I think. Hopefully. You finished? Lion, how long were you awake? Were you watching me? Not long, and yeah, you're really pretty when you're focused. Did you know that? Yeah, I do. Thank you very much. Good. I'll be here to remind you daily. So what are you making? Paper flowers. They didn't come out so great though. I'm used to having sturdier paper. I get up from the couch and crouch down beside Valen to see a delicately made artificial flower. Sure, it's a bit torn around the edges and clumps of tape are peeking through the creases, but it was beautiful nonetheless. I think it's beautiful, Val. What kind of flower is it supposed to be? A daisy? It's a special kind of flower. Special? Yeah, it's our own flower. No one will ever know of its existence. Only the two of us will ever know. You should teach me how to make these. We can fill a whole garden with our flowers. Maybe an indoor garden. I don't think paper holds up well against the rain. Does this flower have a meaning? It can mean whatever we want it to mean. Here, this one's pretty badly crafted, but it's the first of its kind. This one means thank you and, I love you. Ah, Val! I turn it around in my hand, raising it to the morning light shining through the small window. The sunlight peers through the unevenly cut edges and holes of the paper, and I know that even if we're trapped together, there's always a way out. I'll give you these paper flowers when I'm happy. I'll leave them at your door when we fight. I'll turn them into paper planes and send them off when I miss you. I'll write secret messages for you to read when you miss me. Lion, thank you for being with me. Ah, that's heckin' sweet. And now I believe it's time to ruin our relationship with him. Alright, fess up, my boy! There's nothing to fess up. Right, and we're completely infatuated with each other. Ew. Valen's reaction would have insulted me had I not been used to it. Come on, Val, we've known each other for years now. I know when you're lying, and I'm skipping ahead. Let's see. What was the question for this? I'm always antagonizing him, and I get a great kick out of it. No, I don't. One perk of knowing you for this long is knowing when you lie. Did you know that you purse your lips ever so slightly before you lie? Huh, I do? I bring my hands to my lips, suddenly feeling very exposed. Yeah, it's a dead giveaway. I was about to reply to his comment, but then I remember why I approached him in the first place. Skipping ahead, and next one. Don't tell me you got us lost. No, I just happened to see an article on it online and wanted to check it out on the way. Sure about that? You always were bad with directions. Do you remember that one time I had to go out looking for you because you got lost in a grocery store? Why were you looking for clothes in the soup? Why were you looking for clothes in the soup aisle? It's not my fault they didn't label the aisles. I laughed and let the conversation die out, focusing my attention back to the flower field. Do you regret it? I'm going to regret this route, I think. We are going for the bad route, so hey, skipping right ahead. You're just a flower hater, or it wouldn't have turned out so funky if you just took it in the first place. You're just a flower hater. Of course, I already know this is false, just like he knows I'm not a flower barbarian. No, I love flowers. Actually, I just don't like it when they're being used against me. You think I've weaponized this marigold? It's not like anyone can hide a knife inside it. Or can you? Here, let me get you another one. No thanks. Let's skip right ahead, okay? I will panic! I can't even register any of Valen's words. The sounds of my rapidly increasing heartbeats are too loud. I feel a gentle touch on my shoulder, and I look up to see Valen holding a bottle of water. Here, take this. Drink something. Wordlessly, I accept this small gesture of thoughtfulness and take a deep swig of refreshing water. The schedule for tomorrow will have the staff returning soon, so we're going to be okay still. Just take it easy until morning. I blink a few more times. He's trying to help me calm down, and I can't help but smile. I can feel myself relax as I take deep breaths to recompose myself. Yeah, thanks, Valen. Valen plays with his sleeve before clearing his throat. I'm gonna sit on the couch. He falls onto the couch. The soft cushions make him bounce a little from the force and will skip right ahead. I'm bored! I giggle quietly to myself, just imagining Valen's annoyed expression. He's so fun to tease. With the finishing touches, I send off the paper plane. Let's skip ahead. Really? Uh-huh. And what do you want me to do about it? I don't know. Talk. So, what do you do on your phone? We don't have any connection up here, so I can't imagine you're browsing. Skip right ahead. I'm actually better than you in every way. Valen glowers at this. Fine, then let's have a different competition. I'll prove myself. Agreed. As we ponder over our next choice of contest, my stomach growls. I know what we could do. Chip tossing. I grab a few bags of chips, making sure that a few were Valen's favorite. Spicy corn chips, and we skip right ahead. And he probably wouldn't like a bouquet. I mean, we're surprisingly getting along today, all things considered. But he probably still hates my guts, or at least the burdens I've caused for him. Still remember it like it was yesterday, and we skip right along. And you are a silly goose. 4 words? No problem. I'll go for an A. I write down the letter and watch a smug smirk tug at his lips. Don't get too cocky. Everyone knows to guess with vowels first. The game carries on. Valen lost, and he's quite bitter about it. Who puts an apostrophe as a letter in Hangman? Me. I do. This is foul play. I demand a rematch. I clutch my belly, unable to contain my fits of laughter. Your face! Oh man, if only my phone wasn't dead, I could take a picture. I'd frame it and put it on my wall. Rematch! Maybe after you cool down, Val. You're a bit hot-blooded right now. Here, let me get us some water and something to eat. We didn't exactly get to eat any of the chips earlier. Alright, let's skip right ahead. Don't make me the bad guy! I suffered just as much as you did. Do you think I like being away from you for so long? Being played around with by the public like some sort of plaything? How do you think I felt when people constantly talked about how you keep one-upping me? It's just how the acting world is. Deal with it. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. I wanted Valen to know how much I missed and hated him at the same time, and we skip ahead. I don't want to talk anymore. Don't worry. The feeling is entirely mutual. Valen storms up to the couch, and we skip right to the bad ending. I'm not sure how much time has passed. I ended up sleeping in the bathroom for the whole night when the staff found me. The manager gave us an earful. I don't think Valen and I were mentally present to acknowledge her lecture. It's more awkward than ever between us now. I can sense Valen feels guilt about last night. It's written clearly as day on his face. Maybe I'll apologize to him later. Maybe he will. Perhaps neither of us will ever admit how we feel, and eventually, those feelings will die away slowly, like a river drying up. Maybe our friendship and how it ended will become a bittersweet memory to look back on when we grow old. I don't want it to be that way. I still want Valen in my life, for better or for worse. So when I find the keychain discarded in some thorny rose bushes, with its other arm torn by these sharp branches, I resolve to learn how to sew. Well, that was melancholic. Jesus. But anyway, that was off script. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to play this for yourselves, link to the game will be in the description below. If you're wondering why the art style looks familiar, it's because this developer is actually the same artist behind Hydrangea, The Bachelor, and Our Little Secret, which are all games which I've played in the past. And I gotta say, I quite enjoyed this one. This one was actually made for this year's Vlogs Formido, which means they had about 36 hours to come out of the game. So heckin' impressive for what they came up with. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of the day. And as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.